Good Monday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel. Talks all about all my cars and trucks and SUVs and motorcycles. Florida. Hey, good Monday morning there, down here in sunny Florida, rainy Florida. That's just crazy. Hey, before I get into all that, hey, thanks so much for all my subscribers watching my channel. Can't emphasize enough how nice subscriber base is for me, of how many people reached out and wished me happy Father's Day. And once again, happy Father's Day right back to anybody and everybody that reached out to me, or maybe you didn't, but just wishing everybody had a great weekend. We had a great weekend here, and here we are the Monday. I'm still here in Florida and trying to get a good few weeks down here to help take care of my mother and father, and so hopefully you make that work. But every day's a new day. But it's just crazy. Ever since we've come down here, the word was that this area was in a drought, that the rains just weren't here. And my daughter and I come down, and it's rained just about every day we've been here. And it actually kind of gets befuddling and gets aggravating, because we try to go swimming or go boating, and we get it done, but we get caught up in the rains and the thunderstorm and the lightning. It's just incredible. So I guess we bring down the good stuff, meaning the area needs rain, and with us being here, they're definitely getting rain, and it's supposed to rain for the most part every day this week at some point in the day. So what are we doing now? Right here's the Ram TRX. That truck is just so much fun. I really have come to just love that truck. And yeah, I wouldn't want to give that up. I'd give up the Raptor truck in a heartbeat for that. So where's the kid? Where's the popcorn? They were up running up the street getting some food and getting something for my mother. Hey, get me something as well. I'm not going to run up the street this morning. I just figured I'd kind of wait for them to come back. I need my coffee. I haven't got my coffee yet, so if I stumble along here, it's just because I don't have any coffee. But for those watching my channel, I'm sure you saw kind of the overview of the Saturday, Sunday, and the Sunday kind of get together, and you know, it's, as always, it's challenging to bring content to my channel on a consistent basis that'll intrigue you to kind of listen to the content, and even to the point that my morning conversations, I really was gaining a lot of traction of getting good 300, 400, 500 views, excuse me, and it just seems to petered out. It just seems like the morning conversations just really have never taken off. So it's kind of challenging to get motivated to really get up and do this every day, because it does take a lot out of you to do this stuff. It takes time of your day, and I say that all the time, but just share with you that I try to bring content, and down here I'm definitely keeping it a lot shorter, just to kind of keep it a little more simple. You're not watching me walk across the driveway. So spurred the conversation this morning was the illegals, because one of the family members here that was here yesterday works in the trade industry and works in the commercial side of renovating buildings, and is totally sees what's going on in this whole construction industry that was brought upon on Ron DeSantis. And Ron DeSantis, in some ways, here in Florida, is a dumbass. I mean, I sincerely think Ron DeSantis, in some ways, is not the smartest of the bunch. Some may disagree with that, but after you listen to the story of the gentleman here, younger man, that's in the family, and just kind of keep it at that. I don't want to just share too much information, but his story is that he's witnessed on how the construction industry has been destroyed by Ron DeSantis. That these illegals have left this state and by the droves, because of Ron DeSantis going after companies that will hire illegals. And so it's taken away the workforce in this whole Florida state, unbeknownst to most people, that there's just now really inexperienced illegals. So there are illegals still here working illegally for companies, but the real, true, and tried, I guess, veteran illegals have moved on. They've gone to Texas. They've gone to other states where the state isn't going after businesses for illegal labor. And for Ron DeSantis, I don't know if you remember or not, but he was pounding his fist on how he's going to start hammering the hell out of these illegals in the state, and he's going to go after companies that are supporting the illegal infrastructure for labor. And so for the gentleman that has been in this industry for quite a while, what he's witnessing is very young illegal laborers showing up in this state, but they're inexperienced. They don't have a clue what they're doing. They're showing up on job sites to do electrical work, and they have no clue how to do it. They're showing up on job sites to do roofing work. They have no clue how to do it. They're showing up on job sites to do tile work, and what's going on is the contractors are having to redo work on a regular basis. And even though these contractors are still charging people a ton of money to do construction, but they have very cheap labor that's inexperienced labor that's really starting to bring really bad work. The craftsmanship is really deteriorated substantially. So when you hear these stories, you just think, wow. And you just think it's such a scam. It's such a joke of where we are in this country, on this illegal immigration, because that's all you hear. Hey, my daughter kind of cleaned up my dad's garden there. She just loves planting things. Isn't that nice? Isn't that a pretty garden? My daughter really whipped out that whole original garden. If you watch my channel, I have video on all this stuff. Of my daughter just loves to plant plants, and she just loves that type of stuff. So, but anyways, you just hear the constant rhetoric of all this illegal immigration, and it just is really, in so many ways, makes you mad, but it isn't going to stop. It's never going to stop. The illegal immigration, it just is always going to be a challenge. But, how do you get a handle on it? So yesterday, I posted actually on X and actually on Facebook, and I thought to myself, wow, why wouldn't it just a better idea? And don't get me wrong, I know that anything sounds simple of blurting it out, but I thought to myself, what about the idea that every illegal immigrant that is actually caught and that is brought in, instead of just the catch and release, these individuals have to have an ID assigned to them, and that should they go try to work, they have to have that ID so that they're so-called, they're not totally illegal. So just here's the biggest thing I think most people will complain about illegal immigration is that they come here and they write off our tax system and our healthcare system, and they abuse the policies of our country to the taxpayers. So wouldn't it be easier of a quick fix? Just start assigning all these illegals with an ID, and those that go to work, they have to present the ID, and then they get under the tax system. Yeah, and I know, I'm no fool to knowing that they're still going to skate the system, but at least it's an attempt to start telling the illegals, hey, look, you can be here. You don't have to be scared to be here because you're going to have an ID, and you're going to be now having to pay taxes like everybody else. So we'll give you your time frame of your asylum or your legal immigration. We'll give you 3 to 5 years, whatever time frame it takes to try to get a person to be legal in this country. But meanwhile, they're just paying into the tax-based system, and at least in that situation, more people would feel like, well, if they're contributing to the tax-based system, then that kind of changes maybe the mindset of many people. And once again, I know that you're always going to have the system not be perfect, but it would be a better way to try to quit this constant illegal immigration, hemming and hawing between the two parties, and say, okay, everybody's under an ID system that we can capture and release, and they have to participate in paying the tax system. And for those that don't, then you don't get the government assistance that we all are witnessing more than ever of the states of like New York and California that are paying out huge amounts of tax monies that enable these illegals to come here and just really ruin the system. Where so many of the inner cities, I think more than ever, the inner cities are starting to feel the harm from all the illegal immigration, where they're losing their supplements, entitlements, whatever you want to call it. But I think that more than ever, there's a lot of these inner cities of individuals who are starting to get really upset because the government's doing favoritism to the illegals. But I know, I get all the underlying goal is to bring all these illegals here to gather more voters. But once again, there's the answer to the voter challenge. Okay, so if the voter has an ID that comes into our country, and then they supposedly get their voter capability, but now they're having to pay into the tax system, and keep in mind, I know there's other things in place that kind of do handle this to a degree, but in general, how do you really get a handle, a more efficient way just to nip this thing in the bud and get the illegals to have to start paying their fair share to be in our country instead of riding the system? And once again, what spurred this conversation this morning was the fact that yesterday we had a roundtable discussion of all the challenges that the country seems to have upon us. And it's always about the politics and the policies. And I just really thought to myself, after hearing about how the construction trade down here in Florida really is supposedly challenging more than ever for the contractors because they can't find good, experienced help because Ron DeSantis has made such strict laws that are going after corporations and companies that are going to force them to be fined if they're caught with illegal labor. So, you know as well as I do, if you're an illegal down here and you know the company you're working for is going to probably get rid of you at some point, then you're more of the mindset that, hey, why don't I go to the state where those laws aren't being created or enforced? And that's why, from my understanding, Texas is getting a lot of Florida labor. That's creating more of an opportunity for the illegals. You know as well as I do, the illegals talk among themselves, and they're going to be like, going to Florida, you're going to probably get in with a company, and at some point, they're probably going to kick you out of the company because of these stricter laws that Ron DeSantis has created. So if Ron DeSantis, if you ask me, for the Floridians, I'm sure some people would be like, hey, I'm sick of these illegals, and I want to get them the hell out of the state. But once again, I asked the gentleman here around the table, I said, so from your perspective of what you do you see anybody that looks like me? Do you see anybody that looks like me on the job site? He said, if you're carrying a computer and you're overlooking the construction crew, maybe, probably, but actually the people on the ground actually working, doing the hard labor, he's like, no way. You don't see any young that look like me. There's no way. He's like, they don't show up, and they aren't going to show up because they're going to pursue the IT career, the TikTok, the social media. The list goes on and on and on. So you're not going to get the white collar workforce into the infrastructure of this manual labor that is required to create the ongoing construction. But also, what's interesting is he claims that Tampa has slowed down. So the construction side, of commercial side, has definitely slowed down. The expensive apartments and condos and housing is starting to play out. And he said that they're now going to be down there in Fort Myers because of all the wind damage and hurricane damage from last year. And they've got a lot of work down there rebuilding just because of Mother Nature, Earth, that has destroyed mankind's physical buildings. And so that's a huge market down there right now. That's where he's going to be working more now than he has in a while, because the Tampa market is kind of drying up, which I was very interesting to hear that as well. So once again, I'm just speaking out on the tip of my tongue, and I'm not the expert. I'm sure there's others that are out there that maybe have more information than I do of what's going on in the infrastructure of our country. But it just seems like the laws of one state to another state that are radical, that creates more challenges for a company to operate in this state. So even as a contractor, I mean, what are you going to do? What's your longevity of trying to figure out how you're going to continue to compete and not be picking up the pieces all the time of this illegal labor that's now more of a greener type of illegal labor? And once again, I don't know. I'm just hearing this from an individual that's in the industry in this area. So do I know firsthand if it's facts or not? But this is a person who doesn't seem to make up stories, and he's just explained to me, but he's witnessing here in the last year or so of Ron DeSantis' new laws really having a huge impact on those trying to be in the construction industry. So how do you resolve that, right? On the ongoing challenges of the never-ending illegal immigration that is going to be a major topic this year for the election year. You know as well as I do that that'll be the never-ending pound the fist of who's going to get that all resolved and taken care of. And now I'm sure for many, you feel like most that the downside is that where it's all going is the industry is going to go to the illegal voters voting in the next president because of they feel like the one party under Joe Biden will be more appeasing and nice to them. And so now you have to just totally scratch your head if what really plays out this fall will really make any sense. And I think most are already on the page that this election year is going to be a shambles. It's going to be a shit show. I think it will be. I mean, do you really think that the legal side can get the election won, or do you think that because there's going to be so many illegals more than ever involved in this election that it's going to drive certain states for the electoral college to just out the contenders of one guy versus another? So let me get my water here. Anyways, that was it. I just want to kind of throw that out there and to hear what other people's views and ideas are on that topic right there. And I'm not up north, just isn't kind of the same energy on the morning conversation, and just thought to kind of keep the channel going and keep people in tune and what do we got going on. And here's our classic story if you watch my channel. My brother, that really nice air conditioning unit, and we lugged the thing into his house, 155 pounds of just, it's big, it's huge, and to no avail. In the end, we get it out of the box, and we're going to plug it in. It's a 220 unit. And on that box, there's not one area we can find on the exterior of that box that says 220. So my brother's going nuts. So now, I'm going to have to really pack that whole back box back up, take it back to Lowe's, and get him a smaller air conditioner, which I think will be fine. But it's just, oh my gosh, and I'm not lying. I looked all over that box to see where it said 220. Nowhere. It's not how you get the plug out and you see it's the funky 3-pronged plug that has a 90-degree angle on one versus the others, and it's a 220. So what a joke. So I'm going to take that back to Lowe's. It's always a project. When I'm down here, I'm always on projects helping others, which isn't a problem, but it's just, oh my gosh, beyond belief. My brother was going nuts yesterday. So now there's a whole conversation the rest of the afternoon. Then he's debating how we can get 220 to where he's putting the unit in. And it just doesn't end, man. Maybe you know these stories? Most people do know these stories. Wow, this is crazy. The kid, my dad, my daughter, they've been gone now for like an hour. What are the guys doing? This is crazy. I have no idea. But it is really nice down here, nice breeze. And for the most part, the weather's been really to our advantage for the most part. We went out boating Saturday. I didn't make any video, but there's no doubt down here in this Florida area, things have definitely changed. On the boating side, the boating, I would say, is half. I mean, from my own experience, the boating's half of what it used to be. But once again, is it all because it's $5.64 a gallon fuel at the marina? Is that what's driving it? I don't know. I mean, what's going on? I mean, can we really get a handle on, is the heyday over? But I asked Roundtable yesterday, I said, so who do you know has lost their job? Nobody knows anybody's lost their job from the economy supposedly going down. I said, who do you know has had their car repossessed? Same story. Nobody's like, I don't know anybody's had their car repossessed. My daughter says, yeah, my dad. I said, who knows of people being kicked out of their house in foreclosure? Nobody. I said, where is the half price piece of property? I'm sincere. Because somebody reach out my channel and start showing me links in Florida and Tennessee of where everything is now half price because of the dire straits of this economy. It ain't here, man. It ain't here. It's a bunch of BS. Biggest, and don't get me wrong, there's no doubt in my mind things are changing direction. But is it radical? I don't think it is. Sure, there's always going to be a downturn in real estate. There's always going to be a downturn in the car market. I mean, that's always going to be the case. But for some reason, I guess I got to change my channel to just focus on everything's going to come to a crash to get everybody to watch my channel, I guess. I guess that's where it's at. That's the mentality of everybody. Once again, please, anybody out there on my channel, send me a link where I can buy a piece of property here in Florida in the the Pinellas County area, where the house that used to be $600 is now $300,000. I mean, sincerely, send that link to me. I want to see that piece of property, or the house, or the property that was $500,000 just for a lot that's now $250,000. I mean, go to Tennessee, Johnson City, Tennessee. Go to that state and share with me where I can buy 5 acres of land down there that's now $300,000 for $150,000. Please send it to me and just share with everybody on my YouTube channel on how this country really is in the worst shape it's ever been in modern times, and everything's come to an end. I mean, can you do that? I'd love to see the comments of anybody on my channel sharing with me on how, yes, Mr. Iceman, your eyes are blinded, you're like a racehorse, and things are in a shamble like you've never seen, but the media machine won't show it. I'm looking for it. I want to see it. It'd be a great conversation to share on my channel. Just to say Mr. Iceman's a fool, yeah, well, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I mean, I ain't the smartest of the bunch. But anyways, that's it. That's my content for the morning. So I hope everybody takes the content, throw it back at me, tell me how the illegals pay taxes anyways. I mean, the ID thing will never work. I love to hear these things. And oh, hey, Mr. Sanchez, hope you're watching my channel. And he likes to have fun with me on my channel because they said I didn't kind of mention his name lately. But here's the thing. I don't think Mr. Sanchez watches my morning conversations. So I kind of forget about him in that sense. When it comes to motorcycle riding time, then yeah, I should mention Mr. Sanchez more often. But no, I love having Mr. Sanchez part of the channel because he interacts and he likes to have fun. And Don, and you know, happy birthday to Ginny this past, I think it was Saturday, right? I can't keep track, Don. Was it Friday or Saturday? But she's, I hope you guys had a great birthday for the Don and Ginny. It's just reaching out. Then so many other people reach out to me, the help desk gentlemen. I mean, lots of people reach out on a regular basis, and I really appreciate that. But for me to keep track of every username, yeah, it just gets too complicated. So, and I read comments from like yesterday, so by the time today comes, I'm making a video, it kind of goes poof, if you know what I mean. Wow, I'm getting concerned. Where the heck is my daughter and dad? Wow, I mean, this is crazy. I just can't, I can't believe that they're not home. I wonder what happened. I'm gonna go check on my mom, so I really gotta call it quits here. So once again, thanks for watching my channel, and I hope everybody has a great day, and share your ideas and views of what I just talked about to help me out and look at things in a different perspective. That's all it's about. So hope everybody has a great day. Stay tuned for more adventures. God bless.